Hey everybody, welcome back to the SkyLounge here to review some Seattle Seahawks action as we win 30-29 on Thursday Night Football against the Los Angeles Rams. Holy fuck. I almost shit out my balls just watching that game. And here's the thing. Lots of beautiful moments before the game starts. Paul Allen, his name is officially part of the Ring of Honor. 12th name, funny enough. And it really felt as though a lot of the players were going to carry with that spirit of Paul Allen with them. And honestly, when you start the first quarter with just Greg the Leg just fucking kicking that shit in, no problem, twice, it just shows you just how annoying and frustratingly good the Rams actually are. Like, yeah, their offense can just go fucking downhill on you. And their defense. Aaron Donald is a nightmare. Okay, that dude is so damn good, but I hate the fact that he's on the opposing team trying to kill my quarterback. And Gurley is also he's just an offensive talent. And right now, yes, there is the whole idea and talk of the arthritis on the knees and just possible degenerative form taking place in the near future. But this guy rushed for 50 and had 2 touchdowns. He was just a nuisance all throughout this game. And really, the good thing with Seattle, as a Seattle fan, even if we're down early in the first quarter, early in the second quarter, early in the third quarter, somehow, some way, Russell figures out a way. He does. And the partnership now that is developed between Russell Wilson and Will Dissly has to really be underlined here. Will Dissly, drafted last season and got injured in Arizona, like week 3 or 4. I mean, Jesus, it was just a nightmare to have that kind of injury. Him out for the season, and now he comes back. One of the best receivers we got on our squad. And his link up with Russ is just brilliant. And on this particular drive, after Rams go up 6, somehow, some way, Russell pirouettes his way outside of trouble. The pressure coming from the Rams defense every fucking time, because yeah, that Rams defense is pretty good when they try. That's the whole fucking thing. And Russell avoids and dodges all of this and gets the throw to Tyler Lockett, who nobody notices how good Tyler is, but when you have him on national television making a tippy-toe catch in the end zone, you know damn well people are going to talk about it. You know damn well that is a highlight reel goal. And the Seattle Seahawks really pressured Jared Goff. And a couple of third and outs, I mean, on both sides, really. But you had Russell Wilson just possessed. I mean, there's really no other way to say this. This man was possessed today. You had DK Metcalf getting a rainbow 40-yard touchdown. It's just wonderful what Russell Wilson is able to do with that brain, that arm, that cadence. Just everything about him is just perfect. And, honestly, this is where my frustration came in this game, where we were doing so well. We were in this offensive groove. And somehow, some way, Clowney is able to create a fumble, recover the fumble. And when we get the ball back, right, you have an opportunity at 4th and 1 to pound in the ball and potentially be up 11 or 10 points, was it? 11 points, really. And Pete goes for the field goal at 48 yards, which at that point in the game, I would say, listen, the Rams have embarrassed us, especially this McVay team. Well, to be fair, the Fisher team too, a couple of times. But my point is, why not run the score? Why get conservative in the moment you really shouldn't be? But Myers misses that field goal, and through that opportunity, the Rams are able to score in the end of the second quarter with Kupp just getting that touchdown. And it's frustrating because that puts the game at 13-14. And of course, the dynamic of the game changes from the start of the third quarter, where of course you're going to have the Rams team still pissed off that they got fucked 55 points last week at home against Tampa Bay. But they come out, again, like I said, and it's just guns a-blazing. Jared Goff just mows down the field, and our secondary looked atrocious at times. And the fucking middle, the middle, where our base defense, or, the three fucking linebackers where they should be. Sometimes the gap opens up way too much, and the fucking guy running right inside, I'm like, oh, he has days to run in there. He does. And Rams really took advantage of some of the gaping holes that we had on defense today. And Gurley is just notching up the score, 20-14. And that puts the Seahawks at a precarious situation where they have to be able to hold on to the ball, handle it well, and who else shows up but Chris Carson on the day? I mean, the man rushes for 100 yards, and just incredible work that Chris Carson has been showing up, especially after the first 3 games of the season where he just had fumbles after fumbles after fumbles. This is a guy who is consistent in retaining the ball and holding on to that shit like a baby. But this game, it was just incredible to watch him work. And Russell Wilson, again, this has to come down to the fact that Michael Dixon, our punter, is able to fucking just put that ball out inside the 5-yard line where the Rams got nothing going on. The punt back to, the Seattle Seahawks right afterward, that gave us a huge advantage on the field. David Moore gets a touchdown, and the score is 21-20. And this is where, honestly, from the third quarter, almost towards the tail end of the third quarter and beyond that, ladies and gentlemen, if you have hated Thursday Night Football with the mediocre performances of the Carolina Panthers, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Jacksonville Jaguars of the world, unfortunately, yes, I like Minshew, but the matchup with fucking, oh God, what was it? Jaguars and Tennessee, is that right? Anyways, say goodbye to the mediocre Thursday Night Football, because this one was a absolute doozy. And yes, before the third quarter ends, Gurley gets a touchdown, but the 2-point conversion attempt with the QB sneak by Jared Goff is no good. And, it's just this whole thing of Seattle still pounding away at opportunities. Myers getting the field goal early in the fourth quarter, 26-24. You're only down 2 points. And this kind of air of confidence just reigns back into the Seattle Seahawks team. And unfortunately, one of the kind of scary occurrences in this game was Brandon Cooks going down with an injury. And really, this is a hit from Shaquille Griffin, which I think is unintentional. It's just awkward momentum, and the way he fell, just very awkward. And I'm hoping he's okay. You don't want to fucking see that shit, especially in a game. Listen, let's put some perspective in football, okay? This is a game of young men whose career is based around something they've loved as a kid, right? And when you get injured, there's a potential chance that dream career can die. And so hopefully he's okay. He's good to go. And really, from that point on, it was the funny cavalcade of challenge flags from both fucking Pete and McVay. Like, Pete fucking challenged a fucking defensive passer interference, which clearly was not. Maybe you could have challenged for the incomplete pass. Was that on... I think that was on Woods. Might have been on Woods there. But that doesn't happen. And ball gets back to the Rams. And the Rams challenged for it was a potential touchdown, but it was already out of bounds. But McVay, in just kind of the chaos of the moment, I guess he just let the challenge flag go. And Greg the Leg again getting a field goal to put the Rams up 29-24. And this is where the Seattle Seahawks are genuinely sweating because yes, this is only what you only got 10 minutes left in the fourth quarter. It's how you manage your play clock. It's how you manage to get down the turf. It's all these things take into consideration. And who else would you have but Russell Wilson and Chris Carson leading the way? Chris Carson just reminding 12s, the remnants of beast mode, and just carrying that spirit forth and going as a warrior down, just going against the Rams, just breaking tackles left and right, getting yards after the tackle. It was a beauty to watch. And then you have Russell Wilson, who I know he's going to get a lot of flack from a certain segment of fans. I understand, because Clay Matthews gets a hit on Russell Wilson. And yes, this is shoulder to shoulder. I absolutely agree it's not a call. You don't call on that. But, this is a huge but. There is a history for Clay Matthews. And unfortunately, whether he rubbed the referees the wrong way or if there's a vendetta or something, it may have played into a factor. But yeah, I'm on the same boat thinking, man, that shit should have never really been a call, but the Seahawks benefit from it. And really, they marched down the field, 4th and goal, 29-24 with, barely 2 minutes left. I mean, this is where you're sweating. You're panicking. But you have a field general who does not panic at the biggest moment. You have a field general who relishes the big moments. And who else but Russell Wilson throwing the pass to Chris Carson, who almost juggled it out of his hands, but able to catch that for a touchdown, a receiving touchdown for Chris Carson, giving Russell Wilson 4 touchdowns on the day, 0 interceptions. And on the next drive with 2 minutes and 28 seconds left, this is where the Rams have ample opportunity to get the ball down the field. But what happens is McVay just starts throwing the ball in almost automatic fashion. And this is where I swear, I thought Tyler Lockett's play was a miracle play. But Tedrick Thompson's interception of Jared Goff's ball is the equivalent of Julian Edelman's catch in Super Bowl 51, but I will give credit to Julian Edelman. He was being covered by more defenders. I understand that. But for Tedrick Thompson to find the balance to intercept that ball, to have the awareness of his hands to just be able to gently but surely grasp the ball before it ever lands the ground to get the interception, it was huge. It was absolutely huge. And the annoying part about when we got the ball back was the conservative way we were trying to run down the clock. Obviously, the Rams having 2 timeouts, along with the Seattle Seahawks having 2 timeouts. You knew they were going to take a timeout. You knew we had to pound that ball in, and we couldn't get a first down. And on, the frustrating part was they had to punt the ball back. And Jared Goff started working down the field again. And this was frustrating because, at a certain point, I don't really praise Jared Goff. I don't really find value in the quarterback he is. I understand there are fans out there. I get you. Simultaneously, I'm not a fan. I look at the product on the field and I say, I'm not digging that. But credit where credit is due. He carved our secondary in the dying minutes of this game. And really, just a couple of interesting calls or non-calls, shall we say. Holding penalties left and right, masks, grasping of the masks, all that shit. But ultimately, this came down to a 44-yard field goal attempt for Greg the Leg. And he missed it by this much. Goalpost right side, inches, centimeters unbelievable. The fact that he missed it was a miracle in itself. And I don't know what it is, but that was for Paul. That was for Paul Allen. Um, that win was for Paul, by Paul, from Paul. I'm telling you, there's something about this game where, despite some of our lackluster playing and play calling, everything turned out all right. And really, the credit has to go to the quarterbacks. I mean, yeah, Jared Goff may have had the touchdown and interception, on 29 completions on 49 attempts, 395 yards, a 83.3 QBR rating, but did the job well. Kept the team in the game, and I gotta say, kudos to the guy I've been criticizing all this time, and I still do, but I will say this right now, gave us a fucking migraine of a time, but Russell Wilson dominated. I mean, when you have 17 completions on 23 attempts, a 73.9 completion percentage, 268 yards, 4 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, a 151.8 QBR. Guys, I don't really care if people rate Russell Wilson or not. I don't really give a shit. Because at the end of the day, I know there are going to be morons who say, oh, Clay Matthews, oh, Greg the Leg, I don't really care. Because Russell Wilson is my quarterback. This is a guy who is so genuine, so honest, and plays so well. Just everything he does, I appreciate. And getting the win, going 4-1, it's incredible. It's absolutely incredible. And hopefully this keeps going. And really hoping when the Seahawks get to Cleveland that they can grab a win. So that does it for me, boys and girls. 30-29 win on Thursday Night Football. And my Dodgers also grabbed the win. So happy day. And Arsenal wins. I mean, good fucking God, people. Weird shit. But hey, it happens. So embrace the good. And sometimes the bad happens. Enjoy the bad, because good shit happens after, right? Boys and girls, follow me at the Sky Lounge on all the links in the description below. Like, comment, subscribe for more daily contents. Now fuck off.